Welcome to Atlantic Ocean Watch on YouTube. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're looking at the Ballast Holland timepiece. We're here right beside Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Portsmouth, Virginia. I'm going to put the watch's specifications up a couple of times during the video, so you can stop the video a couple of times and get the specifications if you like them. I was first off impressed with the limited edition box. The wood appears to be like a mahogany. Felt inside of the watch box is just presented very nicely, and even the watch box sleeve is like a technical drawing of a submarine, so it's pretty cool. That's the hammerhead crane there at Norfolk Naval Shipyard. It used to be used to lift off gun turrets of Iowa class and other types of classes of World War II battleships. I used to work at Norfolk Naval Shipyard, code 950, shop 51, building 510, motor RRC. As an apprentice, I was also a naval reservist at that particular time. Of course, I'm an active duty veteran, also operational restore hope. Anyway, a little bit of underwater stuff, since this is the Holland Ballast. I'm fitting to do a little bit of underwater stuff. I'll do more underwater stuff coming up here in just a moment. I purchased a timepiece on sale from watches.com, and I've had this timepiece for about a month and a half. Unfortunately, when you go to the watches.com website, you're going to see that ballast no longer shows up. So what you're going to have to do is, until something changes, either go to eBay or some other second-hand place or whatever and get a ballast timepiece, because if not, depending on the Ballast Holland model that you want to get, it's going to cost you $500 to $600, and of course we try to keep things under $500 here. But I got mine for $219 from watches.com about a month and a half ago, right around the end of 2025, end of the year. So, but I found the watch to be very comfortable to wear. Initially, the leather is going to be very stiff, and initially getting my small 6.5-inch Mr. Universe wrist into the very last hole for my small wrist was challenging, but once the rubber broke in, it was quite an enjoyable and easy watch to wear. There's a crown protector there. You gotta unscrew that to get to the crown. 200 meters of water resistance on the watch. And of course, I'm comparing it to a couple of the compressor watches I've had on the channel in the past, so you guys can kind of get an idea of the size comparison, like that Aragon Hero compressor watch that Aragon no longer makes on the right there. It's close to the Holland's size. I like the Holland because it reminds me of the U-boat caps, oils, kind of some of the U-boat models and some of the old Invicta Russian divers. But I think it's made better than the Invicta Russian divers that were ever made. Just giving you guys some more review of the watch off of my wrist so you can kind of see it a little bit better. By this time in the video, the strap is pretty well broken in and easily get on and off my wrist. But because of the taper that goes down, that's on the watch, on the strap, when you initially get it, it's going to be difficult to get into that very top or last hole if you have a very small wrist like what I have. It seems to be keeping pretty good time, but over a month and a half, it's ended up being off by about 7 or 8 minutes. So keep that in mind. Again, I was very impressed with the watch box that comes in. Probably the most beautiful, well-presented watch that I've owned so far on Atlantic Ocean Watch. I've had several really nice-looking watch boxes, but most of them are thrown away. This watch box I'm going to keep. Underwater performance, again, torpedoes with water resistance. No ingress. Just make sure the crown is properly secured and the crown guard is on, and you shouldn't have any problems. I do wish there was a rubber strap as opposed to the leather strap, but for a leather strap, it's comfortable. The leather strap is durable, and unlike many leather straps that have been on the channel before, it hasn't fallen apart. Unlike some of the Deutschmeister watches that I really love, I've had in the past, but the leather straps, one in particular, basically the keeper fell apart shortly after getting it. Because as you all know, I live here in Virginia Beach, and I'm often in the water when it's warm and pleasant outside. Here I'm at Fortress Monroe. Old Point Comfort Lighthouse, and the legendary Chamberlain Hotel. Enjoying the day. Let's talk about the of this timepiece. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'll explain that to you in just a moment. Okay, so we're going to look at this real quick down at my hand. I'm going to give it some light with this flashlight, and we're going to see what it does real quick. I'm just going to hold the light here for a little while longer so that it gets appropriate light. And you guys can see how long I'm holding it here. So it gets nice and bright. I can kind of get an idea of the nighttime performance of this particular timepiece. It's cold, so I'm not going to do the underwater at night because it's freezing. So let's go ahead as this container ship passes and go to the main lens on this Insta360 X5. Let you guys see this shot here, kind of give you an idea of what the lume's going to be like on this Ballast Holland timepiece. And you guys can see it's all right. It's not as bright as some of the Addies dive I've reviewed up here on the channel. Certainly not as bright as any of the Deutschmeisters I reviewed on the channel. But I believe the parent company that makes Aviate and MGNT, both of those watches, I've had watches from those up here before. It's on par with those. But you can kind of see an idea of the initial brightness, but then it kind of starts to just die off. It's still pretty bright, don't get me wrong, to my naked eye looking at it. But I dare say it's probably more like argon bright, where the argon timepieces I've had up here before, several of them, really bright starting off, but then they get dim. Now I'll have to test this, go home and test this like through the night and kind of see like how bright it stays on my wrist after being exposed to light, say for like about a minute and a half or 2 minutes, see how bright it is, if I can still read it the whole night. But I can already tell you, just from looking at it, it's really difficult to try to read it once the initial lume goes off, because the lume on the hands is really difficult to see. I can see it now in my naked eye, but the minute hand and seconds hand, there is lume up there, but it's very faint, so it's gonna be really hard to see what time it is. The lume on the dial itself and the indices is actually pretty decently bright, so you probably might be able to make it out as it passes the numbers on the watch, and you definitely can't make out the date. The date has no lume on it itself. The window seems to have a little bit of lume on the window, but kind of gives you an idea. Okay, it's cold, it's December, and I would normally do the underwater performance as well at nighttime, but I gotta figure out if I'm gonna do that or not because it's cold. So there you go. So let's conclude this video. I really like this Ballast timepiece. I really do. I like the style. The comfort is good. Once the strap breaks in, it's not as stiff once it breaks in. And for my little 6.5-inch Mr. Puniverse wrist, once I was able to get the buckle to work its way up to get to the very last hole, because my wrist is so small, this by far is one of my favorite watches that I have ever owned. But like so many watches we review on the channel, and even though I got this on sale from Ballast through watches.com, being honest with you and honest with myself, I can only give this 3 out of 5 clocks. It gets high marks on style. It gets high marks once the band breaks in on comfort. It gets high marks on durability. But if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I am a lumophile. And a lume looks really cool when you first initially do it. Very much like argon. But it doesn't last that long. There's mismatched lume, if you will, between the indices, the hands, and the markers. This Russian diver style screw down crown is cool, and the watches, the little dome there kind of reminds me of the capsule oil and a couple of U-boats. I like U-boat. I can't comfortably afford a U-boat watch, and plus it'll be outside of the scope of the price points of $500 and below that we try to shoot for on this channel. This will probably not be my last Ballast timepiece you'll see on the channel, but that's the big thing there, the lume. When I'm laying in bed at night, I have a challenging time seeing what time it is at night. I can go buy a Addie's Dive on AliExpress, wait 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes not even that, and get a watch that looms better than this one here does. I could go to TJ Maxx and possibly find a Citizen timepiece like I found during the very early stages of Atlantic Ocean Watch, when I transitioned over from doing rideshare, Uber, Lyft videos I used to do. Some of you guys remember that. Rideshare 757 I used to do. And and transition over to watches. One of the earlier watches I did, ex-girlfriend of mine got me that Citizen timepiece from a TJ Maxx, and that loom is better than this loom. But despite all that, I do like this watch. I gave it 3 clocks because I want to recommend it to you guys and say go get it. But it's understand that the loom is not that great. So if you're a loomophile or a loom freak like I am, you're going to be disappointed because it doesn't loom that bright for that long. And again, there's that mismatch between the hands and also the markers of the timepiece. The Sapphire crystal, no problem. The durability, no problem. This crown here, as long as it's secured, you know, no problem. With the water resistance and ingress, so I say go get it. This again, it's one of my favorite timepieces, but being honest with you, that's the big thing there. And also too, it is a little bit off on the time. Let me check my cell phone so I can give you more of an accurate. Yeah, like right now it's supposed to be 13:30 and this is saying 13:38. So right now 8 minutes off roughly, and that's over about roughly a month period of time. The date window during your day like this was nice and bright. You can read it. Obviously at night you can't really see it that well. The dial color is cool. And I appreciate the artistic freedom they took by like putting like the little submarine hull in there, but it makes it confusing trying to figure out because of the size. Look how the markers are. It makes it confusing trying to figure out the minutes and the hour hand sometimes when you first look at it, and it makes telling time difficult. So I love this watch because it's comfortable, it's stylish, it has that nautical background with the USS Holland submarine, and the packaging it comes in is top notch. But I can only give it 3 clocks out of 5 clocks. I recommend it, but mostly because of the style and general durability. But as far as the time telling feature of it during the day, it's okay. And the time telling at night, initially it's okay, but the loom, I hate it when companies do this. They're so close to making a truly great, affordable timepiece like Ballast, but they miss the mark. And it's a shame because, unless I'm wrong, I believe Ballast parent company is the same company that owns RGMT and that also owns AV8, if I remember correctly. And they make some great watches, although I've reviewed a couple of those here on the channel. But this one, 3 out of 5 clocks, reluctantly. The loom on this thing was great, and the handset still had that, you know, artistic thing with the submarine, but it was a more legible handset. I would give it 5 clocks out of 5 clocks. But being honest with you and myself, I reluctantly give it 3 clocks out of 5 clocks. Still recommend it. Still one of my favorite watches overall because of the style and all that. But that's the truth. Thanks for watching Atlantic Ocean Watch on YouTube. I'm Atlantic Ocean Watch on TikTok and Instagram, where I do watches and other stuff. Check out Just Go, where I do some travel stuff every blue moon. And also HeadTube72, where I do some mountain bike stuff, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Links in the video description. And don't forget to check out my affiliate link to the Backpack Islander Savvy from Vieira Travel. If you buy something using that link, it helps me out tremendously because I'm a small channel and YouTube doesn't really pay me. So take care.